What's up, guys? Budapest. That's I mean, I'm done. Really, that's all that needs to be said in this video. But you know what? I'm going to continue because there's more exciting things than just discovering what happened in Budapest coming up in Black Widow, and that's what today's video is all about. So yes, as I said, Budapest has pretty much all but been confirmed as a location for filming the Black Widow movie, which honestly, considering that that exact city has history with Black Widow, being an untouched backstory part to the character from 2012's The Avengers, we're all but guaranteed to see how that exact situation transpired, which also pretty much guarantees us a Hawkeye cameo before Jeremy Renner runs off to start production on his Disney Plus show. Other than that, let's get into some little facts and details about the film that we know so far. It's going to be directed by award-winning Australian writer-director Kate Shortland. I'm actually looking at her Wikipedia right now, and I honestly have not heard of any of these films, but her awards list is extensive. She's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She won 10 awards in 2000 with her 2004 film Somersault, and was nominated for a further 4. She won another for her 2006 film The Silence, and was nominated for an extra 2 after that. 2012 she won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 awards for her 2012 film Law, and was nominated for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nominated for another 10 for that one. And then she was nominated for 3 awards with her 2017 film Berlin Syndrome. And to date, that is all that it says she has actually produced as far as films are concerned. The Silence was a short film, was it? No, The Silence was a TV movie. So she can definitely handle herself, but this will be sort of her first mainstream film, I guess, for lack of a better word. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what she can bring to the table. Obviously, we've got Scarlett Johansson returning as Natasha Romanoff. Wow, the glare off my my glass table is it's bright. Don't look into that. We've got, I hope I'm pronouncing all of these names correctly. We've got Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, also known as the other Black Widow in the comics. It looks from leaked footage and stuff that she will be sort of Black Widow's Baron Mordo / Winter Soldier for this film, in that she'll have basically the same powers, same origin, but sort of be in that ambivalent good guy, bad guy state. Because obviously in Doctor Strange, comic readers knew that Baron Mordo was a villain, but he was a sidekick for most of that film until at the end, where he turns against and goes against the sorcerers, as well as people knowing that Bucky became the Winter Soldier, and he started out as a good guy, became a villain, reverted back to being a good guy, and so Yelena Belova sort of sits in that same category here from the looks of things. We've got David Harbour, who is playing Alexei Shostakov, aka the Red Guardian, basically Russia's version of Captain America, which makes me think that this film's going to take place I mean, if they wanted to go for like a Cold War era, it would take place in the 60s, but that doesn't really line up for the ages of the characters. So I'm sort of seeing this as being at least for the flashback parts of this, and I'll get into what I mean about that in a second, but at least the flashback parts I'm seeing as after 1995, before 2008, in that sort of era is where I'm seeing this going down. So that'd be, yeah, kind of cool. We've got, and again, hope I'm pronouncing this name correctly, we've got O.T. Fagbenley as Mason. Most people believe this to be Rick Mason, as the character description for this character is a SHIELD agent from Natasha's past who is romantically interested. I have more information on Rick Mason at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Rachel Weisz as Malina Vostokov, also known as Iron Maiden, and it is believed, from what I've read online, that she will be the main villain of the storyline, like of the movie, with apparently there was some footage shown at Comic-Con. Obviously I have not myself seen this footage as I did not attend, but there was apparently some footage released during the reveal for this film that showed what appeared to be a female Taskmaster, which is a possibility, but some people noted that the metal suit that the character was wearing, as well as the hood, was very reminiscent of Iron Maiden, and considering that Malina Vostokov is going to be in the film, her villainous identity as Iron Maiden is also likely to make an appearance. Ray Winstone has been cast in a yet unidentified role, and Taskmaster will appear in the film. There was a point of concept bit of artwork shown at Comic-Con that showed Black Widow fighting Taskmaster, and I do have a theory about this in a moment. Again, I want to get all of my little facts and stuff out first. The present day side of things is going to be set between Civil War and Infinity War, while she's with Cap and the rest of the Secret Avengers avoiding the government and the Sokovia Accords. This will be Stan Lee's last film as executive producer, so I'm assuming that he actually did some work on this before he passed away, because can't exactly do it from beyond the grave. But this will be his last film as executive producer. So it's kind of nice that he made it into Phase 4 as an executive producer. But this will be his last film. And his last cameo, I believe, was in Endgame. I don't think he had one in Far From Home. So yes, this sort of officially marks it. Sort of the end of his sort of first-hand dynasty. From now on, it's all legacy. Other actors that were considered for the role of Yelena Belova include Emma Watson. I really don't think I need to explain what else she's been in. She has quite a profile for herself. I have no idea how to pronounce her name, so I'm just gonna take my best stab at it, and I'm fully expecting to be roasted about it in the comments. Well, sue me. But yeah, no, I've no idea. I mean, I know what she's in. She was the lead actress in The Host. Her last name is Ronan, I can pronounce that, but her first name has like, I know it's like an Irish or a Welsh name or something, and it's got like 3 vowels in a row, and then an R, and I have no idea how to pronounce it. So I will just sort of leave it written in, actually I might leave all of my little trivia points in the description, just so you guys can understand why I can't pronounce this particular name. And Alice Engler, who was Lena in the Beautiful Creatures film, which disappointed me so thoroughly. Huge fan of the books for Beautiful Creatures, and that film just didn't live up to it. But as soon as I heard that she had been considered for the role of Yelena, that got me very excited, because it means that Marvel is looking at her to potentially play characters. And obviously they didn't think Yelena was the character for her. But if she could land a Marvel role, that'd be cool, as she is an Australian actress. And that'd be kind of cool. The main villain will be female, which is why I believe that it will be Iron Maiden. And the biggest trivia point that I found while looking on IMDb, yes, I didn't just do all my research on Wikipedia this time. I actually looked at Marvel sites and IMDb and like actual reputable sources for this. But my last trivia point I will get to after I address who exactly Rick Mason is. And so this is where the Marvel side of things came in. Can I? Sweet. Okay, so Rick Mason was a mercenary who specialized in the non-lethal handling of superhumans, having grown up exposed to advanced technology necessary for such tasks as, and this is in the comics, he was the son of Phineas Mason, the criminal inventor known as the Tinkerer, who appeared in Homecoming. He was the guy that developed all of Vulture's tech. That was the Tinkerer. So he already exists. So this Rick Mason, if it is indeed Rick Mason, cannot be his son, purely because that messes up the timeline completely. So it's more likely that he's going to still have some sort of relation, and they're just going to change it to like his uncle or his father and just reverse the roles around, or I don't know. It is an adaptation, not a translation of the comics and stuff, so they are allowed to do that. But I definitely still think that there'll be some sort of leaving him in there as some sort of relation to the Tinkerer, as well as having something to do with tech. And I'll get to that point again in a second as well. Another source of education was the likes of Nick Fury, among a whole heap of other people, where he gained experience working alongside them, and that helped turn him into a highly trained covert operative. He then went freelance, and could only be found online under the codename The Agent, and his clients included government agencies of America, United Kingdom, Israel, France, and a whole heap of other countries. While working for the UK, the agent found 3 renegade members of China's China Force super team. This could help set up the Shang-Chi movie, if it does indeed make any sort of appearance. But considering that he's a side character, it's unlikely. But there is still the possibility there for setting up the Ten Rings having a hand in this, potentially. Them being SHIELD agents before Hydra was revealed as living there could mean that the Ten Rings and Hydra are working together. Who knows? It could mean, in that regard, that Iron Maiden, whose work was always overshadowed by Black Widows as Russian covert operatives, is actually working for a branch of Hydra in Russia, which potentially could be what the Red Room is. I mean, the symbol for Hydra is red itself, but again, I'll get to all of my theories and stuff in a second, because I do have a big one for this video. But yeah, there are ways they can help set up the rest of Phase 4 with this film, like excluding the Eternals. But yes, he fought against 3 renegade members of the China Force super team who were seeking to undermine and then empower British government in Hong Kong. This was then followed by a similar situation in South America, where he was brought in by Nick Fury, during which he was incapacitated or during which he incapacitated or eliminated. Where I'm up to, a quintet of superpowered mercenaries, allowing the American-backed rebels, like the local rebels, to take over Costa Brava and then install their leader as president, thus ending sort of the tyranny of these superpowered mercenaries. In the aftermath of that, he learned one of his old mentors, the Chinese geomancer Ten Yun Xuan, I think that's how you pronounce it, was responsible for those attempted coups. So again, if this makes an appearance, Teng could be a member of the Ten Rings, which would help set up the Shang-Chi movie, connecting to this. So he learnt that Tang was responsible for the coups and was forced to kill him in the resulting face-off. Following that escapade, Mason was taken hostage by a criminal organization known as the Corporation in a failed attempt to force the Tinkerer to work exclusively for them. Again, this would only really work if he was the Tinkerer's son, but either way, if they know that the Tinkerer's out there making weapons and stuff, it could come to pass that maybe Rick Mason is. I guess it all really depends on where this would fit in the timeline as to how the relationship would work. But in any case, it was a failed attempt to get the Tinkerer to work for them. Mason managed to escape by himself, but encountered Luke Cage and Dakota North, whom the Tinkerer had hired to rescue him, and together the three heroes defeated the Corporation. Unfortunately, and this is the part that gives me the most room to speculate, Mason was apparently killed later on, murdered by an unidentified supervillain, after which his activities as the anonymous agent became public knowledge. Now, the part where his activities as the agent going public is concerned, that could just be a SHIELD file that was then dumped onto the internet by Black Widow in Winter Soldier. I sort of continuing her story arc, still on that mission, because my theory sort of is based around what if she only really had one mission in the entire MCU, and we're sort of getting to see where that's given to her by SHIELD. Given that I believe that it'll be sort of a late 90s, like a very late 90s, early 2000s era flashbacks, and considering that Hawkeye is almost pretty much guaranteed to have a cameo, it's very likely, considering that the Avengers Initiative was set up in 1995 after the events of Captain Marvel, that considering his marksmanship as an archer and as a gunman is concerned, that Hawkeye may be seen by Nick Fury as a potential candidate for Avengers membership, therefore sending him on the mission to take out the Black Widow and end the threat against them, is sort of seen as a test of character. And then the fact that Barton makes a different call, gets Black Widow to defect, join SHIELD, could mean that that's why he was considered as one of the people sort of responsible for protecting the crater site in Thor. So if that's the case, it means that the debate of who actually is the first Avenger can now actually include Hawkeye, assuming my theory is correct. Anyway, let's get into the big theory that I have with this last bit of trivia. Andre Holland was originally considered for the role of the villain. This is directly from IMDb, before O.T. Fake Bentley was cast, let me remind you that he's playing Mason, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent from Natasha's past, who is romantically interested in her. And considering that we've had the point of concept of Natasha fighting Taskmaster, and that Taskmaster, as of yet, does not have an actor assigned to them, it's highly likely that with his covert training, that copying the moves of other covert operatives is not out of the realm of possibility for him, meaning that he can still, to a sense, possess that ability that Taskmaster has of like reflex memory. So he can watch something, see how they do it, and then he's able to do it himself, simply because of the amount of experience he has as a covert agent, and the different martial arts styles that he would know himself. Now, if that is to happen, it could start out that he is indeed a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent in the flashbacks, and then in the modern day, where I'm assuming most of the story is going to take place, we'll get to see that he was not, in fact, apparently killed by an unidentified villain, but in fact faked his own death in order to become the MCU's Taskmaster, leaving him available to be a greater threat for the rest of the MCU. And if that's the case, well, I have a huge theory that would help sort of give more evidence to, if that comes to fruition. I will save my big theory for later on. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Rick Mason will turn out to be the MCU's Taskmaster? I know in the comics his name is Tony Masters, and that's going to upset a lot of fans, but this is a different universe. Different people can be... I mean, Aunt May is not as old as Aunt May is in the comics, no matter which universe you go to in the comics. So they are very prone to changing things up and trying to look at things from a different perspective to streamline their stories to make more sense given the overall storyline of this universe, of Earth 199999. So do you think that that's a possibility? And if you don't, who do you think the Taskmaster will be? Do you think that that's the role that Ray Winstone has been cast for? Because his role hasn't been identified, and the actor for Taskmaster hasn't been identified. So there's also that possibility as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, I am going to be doing videos like this for all of the MCU Hall H San Diego Comic Con 2019 reveals. I've got another one coming up this week for the Eternals. So if you want to see that, make sure you hit that subscription button and the notification bell so that you are alerted when I upload those videos. You can check out my social medias in the link down below. I've got my Instagram and my Tumblr there. I'm this close to releasing another couple of parts to my story on Tumblr, so make sure you go check that out. Give that some love. Let me know what you think, either on Tumblr or by commenting below. And my Instagram's down there as well. It is a private account, but send me a message, let me know that I sent you, and I will add you straight away. I'll check out your stuff, might even follow you as well. So yeah, and with all of that out of the way, guys, have a great day, and until next time, night to A2, and I'll check you all later.